I painted the Rebbe. I have the honor to paint the Rebbe. And how this came about? Well, I had a blessing from the Rebbe for my family, which I saw. Nisim v'niflaot with my own eyes. I felt it. Then I became close to Judaism. But I wanted to paint him first. First, I wanted to paint him. As an artist, I don't paint just a resemblance of a person. I try to capture inner feeling of the person. For this, I had to relate to a person. I could relate to everybody, have a cup of coffee, speak to a person. But I could never relate to a holy man, such a Lubavitcher Rebbe, being a person like me, Chiloni legamre, secular person. So much so I wanted to paint the Rebbe. I changed my life towards Orthodoxy because I wanted to paint the Rebbe. And I went next to yeshiva. They came and, boys from yeshiva, they came and put tefillin for me. And I kept Shabbat. So I became close to religion. And from that moment, I stopped working on Shabbat. And from that moment, every day of my life, I put tefillin. And then one morning, I came down from the upstairs. I cut big piece of canvas, put it on my easel. I started doing preliminary sketches from the painting, from the pictures which I borrowed from Rothman family to paint the Rebbe. But picture doesn't give you anything. I had to see the Rebbe. But coming a step close to Judaism, that was something. I knew when I nearly finished it, I will go to New York, I meet the Rebbe, then finish the painting. Okay, I had a project. I was very fresh, and I did preliminary drawing with pencil over a big piece of canvas. Many times when I draw, hand doesn't go smoothly. You draw, you erase it. You draw, you erase it. But in this instant, there was as if a power, koach, conducting my hand to destination of every single line. I didn't even rub the once. In no time I saw outline of the Rebbe on my big canvas. Then I did his detail, his face. When it came to painting, as it was, I was very fresh. Usually I always paint the background, then come to the subject. For the Rebbe, I said no. My freshness, I wanted to put it the most important part of his face, eyes. Started painting eyes. Why eyes? Eyes are window of the soul. With eye you can deliver messages, which you cannot do it with the other limb of your body. Even to two people, they see each other in a strange land, to Jews. They can connect. They don't know their other languages. With eye they can connect. So eyes are very important. So I started painting his eyes, and when I painted his eyes, I went a step back. I looked. I saw a pair of blue eyes in the middle of the white canvas, looking at me. I said to myself, Raphael, your painting is finished. Eyes are important. Then I took my time. I did the rest of his face and jacket. But this painting took me a long time to finish. For every stage of this painting, I was doing some studies about Rebbe, since I didn't see the Rebbe. Then continuing. 7 months later, when painting was nearly finished, with Rotman family, we went to New York to see the Rebbe. It was difficult for Itvahdut meeting with the Rebbe in New York, because they told me Rebbe is very busy. Leave the painting in the office, we'll show it to him, we'll tell him what he says. I said, no way. I came all the way from London to New York to speak to the Rebbe face to face in order to paint my painting. Well, his secretary wasn't very helpful, understandable. And so I took the pen. I came where I was staying. That night, it was too yet Kislev, and Rebbe was, no, Yud Tammuz, I'm sorry. Rebbe was giving a talk until 2 o'clock in the morning in 770. I was among the crowd. An idea came to my mind. Raphael, can you see all these Hasidim in 770? They all are shikar. They all are masturim. Nobody will disturb me the next morning. I go and speak to the Rebbe when he's coming to the office. Nobody will come around. Nobody will disturb me. That's what I've done. Next morning, we took the painting, myself, my wife, and Rotman family, and my daughter. Went to the Rebbe, we stood at the 770. My painting was covered. As his car arrived, my wife took the paper off the painting. I left the painting, and I went towards the Rebbe. I was going to say to the Rebbe, I'm Raphael Nouril, I'm an artist, I painted your portrait, please give me your comment. By the time he speaks to me, I pick things, so I can paint, I can finish my painting. But there was no need to say so. Split second stood in front of my painting, and he made his first comment about the position of his hand in the painting. Rebbe stood in front of me. He showed me with his own hand. He did this with the hand. It crossed. He said, hands like this are prohibited. He spoke to me English. I said, why is it prohibited, Rebbe? He said, because they are prohibited. I didn't want to take more of his time. He said, but I said, Rebbe, I use the photography. He said, even that picture is prohibited. I knew that was photographer's mistake. Many times they capture your hand while you're moving them. So I saw a position which is close to the cross hand. I thought maybe there is a Kabbalistic reason behind it. So they didn't take a chance. I just copied it. When the Rebbe saw it, he crossed his hand. He said, hands like this are prohibited. Then he put his right hand on his left hand, like this. I said, Rebbe, he said, his hands should be in such a manner like this. The words of the Rebbe, such a manner like this. I said, Rebbe, do you want me to change your hand to this position? Everything I told you now, it was accurate. This one, I'm not sure. He nodded, he said, yes or yes, please. These three things. Then I said, Rebbe, he looked at me. You spoke about hands all the time. What about your face? He went a step back, looked at the painting. Very good. Better than the original. Better than the original. Better than the original. 3 times. Not because I'm a rude person. I was so excited to hear this. I started patting on Rebbe's shoulder. I said, thank you, Rebbe, thank you, Rebbe. But who paints on a leader's shoulder? like in Queen, like someone pat on a Queen of England's shoulder. People go, it's not right. Hasidim didn't feel comfortable. To be honest with you, I didn't feel comfortable. The Rebbe grabbed my hand, shook it warmly. He said, Besurot Tovot. He knew that I didn't feel good by patting on his shoulder. And he went to towards 770. I took the painting, and when I came back to London, in my studio, I changed his hand the way Rebbe showed me. Many times, when you want to paint, correct something with the oil painting, you can paint over a paint. But since I didn't want a layer of a paint, of something that the Rebbe didn't like, stays under the top layer, so with acid, I wiped the whole thing. And I painted his hand fresh, the way Rebbe showed me. Then I took a picture and sent it to New York, and he was acknowledged it. Then I made limited edition lithography from that painting, number of 58, sorry, and why 358? Because 358 is Gematria Mashiach. Rebbe spoke about Mashiach all the years of his leadership. And I sent number of 358, to the Rebbe himself. At the moment, that copy is hanging in his library in 770. Now, I became closer to Lubavitch. Then I knew Rebbe was very close to his father-in-law. I wanted to paint them. I painted the Rebbe on the occasion of his engagement next to his father-in-law. And by looking at this video, memories come back. I said, to the Rebbe said to me, is this my picture you painted? No, before that, I'm sorry. When he saw the painting, he didn't stop thanking me. He said, Spasiba in Russian, meaning thank you. Then he said, thank you for showing this to me. This is my picture you painted. I said, yes, Rebbe. Then I, from my pocket, with this pocket, I took magnifying glass. From another pocket, a small picture. Rebbe, I used this tool in order to create that painting. When he saw this, he was so happy, so happy. I had never seen Rebbe so happy before. His face was beaming from happiness. He said to me, this painting should be a good start for you to double up your effort and spread Yiddishkeit with your work of art. And I said, yes, Rebbe. And as I was taking the painting, he said, but don't forget about growing. Rebbe told me. Ever since, I became closer to Lubavitch. And I painted this painting of Tzemach Tzedek synagogue. Hasidim are excited looking over a canvas. You see a back of the canvas. That is the picture of the Rebbe. I took it to Jerusalem in order to show it to some Hasidim in Tzemach Tzedek synagogue. When I showed the painting to the Rebbe was very pleased. And he said, have you forgotten to put yourself in the painting? I said, Rebbe, I was painting them. But you had the ability to include yourself. I said, Rebbe, he said, what? I said, next time. He said, okay. And but he said to me, something which I am embarrassed to repeat. Do me a favor. When you go back to London, take a picture of this and send it to me. We went to, okay. We went back to London. I didn't take a picture. I went to a professional photographer. He did original size photograph. 7 months later, on my way to America, I had to stop in New York. We passed by the Rebbe, and we gave it to him. Continue. 1 minute. And what the Rebbe said to me, if the painting is so beautiful, certainly.
I have showed you the original painting 2 years ago. Yeah. You and your father-in-law.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
And also,
that's a new specialty.
Yeah, the original paintings with myself at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I have also painted a painting from Tzemach Tzedek synagogue in Yerushalayim. They are looking to your painting, this painting in your painting, your portrait. Mm. I saw excitement in that shul, and I have painted this excitement.
What is the reason to forgetting yourself on the picture?
To sell this picture?
No, why you're not in the forgetting?
Why I am not in the picture? Because I was painting. I was taking a photograph of it.
But you have the ability to paint after that.
My picture in the painting. Perhaps next painting.
Yeah. In good health and in good much success.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's a double portion of success and all good things.
I need
that's for me.
This is I am taking back to London to show it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put it in an exhibition, as you said before to me, to spread Yiddishkeit through my work.
Yeah.
And I am listening.
Then maybe you make me a favor and send me a photograph.
Definitely.
Of this picture.
Definitely. Most definitely, I will do that.
Thank you very much and have a good year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rebbe, it's my son's Raphael's birthday today.
That's your husband?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I treasure these memories. I treasure these memories. Okay, I came closer to Judaism, and then later on I traveled to Yerushalayim and painted many Jewish painting, and many times I passed by the Rebbe and showed it to him. I am very blessed. Almighty gave me lots of blessings. I have good children and good grandchildren. I have 3 beautiful granddaughters and 2 wonderful grandsons. And my second granddaughter was born on Yutet Kislev. On Yutet Kislev. And her name is Raphael. Raphael, get up. We love you. Thank you so much for everything. I'm very, very happy to be here to share my stories with you. God bless all of you. Thank you.
I just want to mention how deeply we are moved by the fact that you came tonight.
My pleasure.
We feel that you're a real friend of the family of the Rotmans and of Hanna and me. And of course, we would like to mention your wife, Katie, who is a big part of all these paintings and everything that's been going on. Sure. So we'd like to give you a little souvenir.
Oh, thank you
This
so
is
much.
where it all started, with the hands.
Yes, yes.
I don't think you have this one yet.
Yeah.
So we made it for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
L'chaim, l'chaim.
L'chaim u'bracha. Thank you.